What is going on, everyone? AJ Gaming here, and welcome back to the 5th episode of my FIFA 17 Road to Glory. And today I have two foot drafts for you, continuing on from the FIFA points that we spent half of on a pack opening in the last episode. I've got two foot drafts for you that were recorded during the EA Access time, so I barely had any coins at the time, so any packs were going to help me to get a better to get some more coins added to the account. We start off with the 3-4-2-1 formation. Our captain's Bale. We choose Bale overall. I think we had Rooney and a couple of others. Yaya Toure I think was in there as well. Now we move on to the right forward spot. Decent players overall. Carlos Vela looks like the most obvious, and we do pick him. We're going to try and build into a BBVA team. If you are enjoying these Road to Glory episodes, make sure to smash a like, as we get a difficult position here, but we do just take the highest rated Tevez in case we can get a Messi or an Argentinian like Di Maria or someone. And then in the next left forward spot we get no La Liga Santander players again, but we end up going with, it's really a choice of who is going to be better on No Chem if we have to play them. We end up going with Coman and move on to the left mid position. We do get a Liga BBVA player there in Nasri, and I think Bebe as well plays in the Liga BBVA. La Liga Santander, sorry. So we move on to the centre mid position, and make sure to subscribe for more of this FIFA 17 Road to Glory content coming your way in the coming days and weeks. A difficult decision here as well. We end up going with the highest rated in Marquisio there for the centre mid. We didn't really have anyone that linked up, and then we get some average decent players. We take Hernandez, plays for the same club as Marquisio. We need all the chemistry we can get at the minute. We pick Marquinhos as he links to Hernandez in the middle centre back position, and we pick I think we end up picking the Ligue 1 centre back in Perrin there for the right centre back, who links up with Marquinhos from PSG. In the left centre back spot we get Rafael Varane, who gets a strong link to Nasri on that left hand side. In goal, to complete the starting 11, we get some decent goalkeepers. Ligon, Lopez, Stegen links with Varane, Diego Alves links with Varane as well, but we end up picking Lopez because he gets 2 links instead of the others that only got 1 link. Onto the reserves, we start off with some average players. We do get a La Liga left wing in Nani, and we're going to take him and put him straight into the team over Coman. Only stat that Coman has better than Nani is his pace. Onto another reserve spot, something that's not really going to make a difference. We take Kostic for his pace, the Hamburg winger. And next up we get a bunch of silvers that aren't going to be used in the draft, but we'll take Gouffran in there. And then the Messi pops in this 4th reserve position. We're definitely going to take him, puts Tevez up to 7 chem, and Vela gets removed from the squad, and Messi goes into his position. Next up we get Callahan, Sosa. I didn't want to use him, only 3-star skills. We end up picking Callahan as our final reserves spot there. And on to the subs bench, another pointless pick here. No one's going to make the team from that pick, but we pick Denisov, the Russian league left back, to take his position. And then we get the Neymar as well, that's going to go in instead of Nasri, and we'll put we'll swap Neymar and Nani, but we end up swapping Nani out for Nasri, as he does get the strong link to Varane in the centre-back position. Another non-rare selection there. Not the best of drafts overall in terms of chemistry or rating. Some average players. We take Martial here, although we are at an 85 rating at the minute. We take out Tevez and put Nani back into the squad at left forward, and move Neymar to the striker to get some extra chemistry. More players, defenders that aren't going to make a difference to the team. We pick Gabriel for the higher rating. And onto the final position, outfield position, we get a load of decent defenders here overall. We get Marcelo out of Harold Baines, and Marcelo looks to be the most obvious selection from the Liga BBVA. We do end up selecting him, and on to the final position that isn't going to make a difference. A load of non-rare players. We take Lux in case we swap to a La Liga defense. But that is the starting 11. A couple of changes to make. I ended up putting Marcelo in at left mid over Nasri, even though it does drop the chemistry by 4. I feel like Marcelo is a much better player. We get up by 3 by swapping Hernandez to get the link to Marcelo. That does put Hernandez onto full chem overall. Perrin better stats than Gabriel, so I don't swap those two out. We do end up putting Tevez back in. It does up the chemistry up to 79 because Neymar gets the strong link to Marcelo and gets a weak link from Hernandez, putting him on full chem as well. And now it's just down to sorting out the bench. We've got a load of wingers that will go on the bench here, and you'll see in a second that our whole bench is made up of left mids and right wings and left wings. You see there, Nani, Nasri, Martial, Callahan, Vela, Koeman and Kostic are our subs bench. A load of pacey wingers down there. The lowest pace there is Nasri's 78, which still isn't that bad as a pace stat, but we end up with 85 rating and 79 chemistry. We grab a manager to finish off this draft, and we see which one increases our chemistry. The Brazilian puts us up to 82, the Portuguese puts us up to 80, the Spanish guy puts it up to 84 because he is the La Liga Santander. We end up with an 85 rated team with 84 chemistry, 86 forward, 84 midfielder and 82 defensive rating. But let's move into the gameplay, and first our opponent comes up with Donnarumma in goals, Rio Ferdinand, legend, in the centre back. You see at halftime I was absolutely dominating my opponent. I was overplaying though. I kept passing it around and not just shooting. 58% possession in there as well. We move into the second half. Felipe Luis down this left hand side. Asamoah there. Torres plays it through to Bakambu. First time shot and into the top corner of the goal from Bakambu. A nice finesse shot. And from having no shots in the whole of the first half, my opponent takes the lead in the 70th minute. And just 5 minutes later, throwing down this right corner, Messi plays it to Carvajal, plays it back to him, a chip into the box. Fernando Torres gets there ahead of his defender and puts it in at the near post to win 2-0, and that is how the game ends, and we lose in the first round straight away in the draft. 684 coins, a terrible performance from me there, even though we dominated on stats. A bit less possession, 8 shots, 5 on target to my opponent's 4 and 3. We just were not taking our chances overall. Neymar, the best player on our team. I didn't really like Tevez. I ended up swapping Martial, but we obviously go out in the first round, which is why I have got a second draft for you guys, because I can't leave it with just a loss straight away in the first round. Silver players pack and 2 gold pack are our prizes. We get Davis, a MLS player, I'm pretty sure that is, who we will use in one of the MLS squad builder challenges later on. A BPL goalkeeper from Man United in Johnston there as well. We send everything to the club and trade them in later, whether it be for selling them for coins or trading them in. And then in the first gold pack, our only rare, we get a rare player in the pack, and it is Hernandez, who was not the best player that I found in the foot draft for us. He didn't really perform that well for us, but onto the final gold pack. I'll take it as our only rare player in the pack, and we get another rare from our second gold pack, and it is Batshuayi from Chelsea, the newly signed man from Marseille, I think it was, in the summer. But Batshuayi will definitely sell for at least 5-6k, and at the time of recording this he was selling for about 7k, so that would definitely help us to increase our coin balance there. But we'll move on into the second draft of today's episode here. Make sure to leave a like. Hopefully we'll have a better set of gameplay for this draft, and we do start off with the 4-2-3-1 wide. Definitely a better formation for me rather than the 3-4-1-2 that's way too attacking. I do decide to go for a BPL team here. I eventually pick Coutinho to go into that cam position, and that is who we will start as a striker, as a cam, sorry, as our captain. We pick the BPL striker there in like Remy on loan at Crystal Palace from Chelsea. We get 3 BPL options, 2 West Ham players, but Deulofeu with the 4-star is the player who we're going to pick for that right mid position. In the left mid position, we get another 3 Premier League left mids, all 82 rated. We end up picking Sterling for that pace down the left mid. We get another 2 Premier League options, Felipe Luis in there, but I stick with what we started with and pick a BPL left back in Luke Shaw to go into that position there. CDM position, we get the choice of Coquelin or McCarthy, and we end up picking Coquelin for that left CDM. We get another Premier League CDM in Schneiderlin, and this draft is basically picking itself. Another BPL player there in Kyle Norton from Swansea. Hopefully we could improve that right back position a bit further down the track, maybe in the reserves or subs bench. And then centre back, we get the choice of John Terry or Joel Matip, and obviously we're going to take Matip, as he is a much better player than John Terry in the game. No BPL options for this penultimate starting 11 position. We do just take, I'm not sure who we take actually in the end, but we do take Roncaglia, the La Liga Santander centre back from Argentina, and we get a BPL goalkeeper in Victor Valdez, the newly transferred Middlesbrough man who didn't get much playtime at Man United last season. On to the reserves. No Premier League players to help our cause here. We take the highest rated Sportiello Serie A goalkeeper, and then into the next reserves position. No more Premier League players there. Icardi is who we take as a super sub. Another pointless pick, Guerrero from Borussia Dortmund, making the team here. We get McCarthy or Zabaleta, and we're going to take Zabaleta. A massive improvement on that right back position. If we don't get a centre back, we can always put him or Norton in at the centre back position. 2 left mids from the Premier League aren't really going to make a difference to the team. We've already got Sterling in that left mid position. We pick Montero for the pace off the bench there as well. And we do get another Premier League left winger straight away, and we pick Nolito for that first sub position. And then in the next sub position, we do get that guy Welbs from Arsenal. I'm not sure whether he's going to be any worth to us. We've already got Remy. He's probably the player we're going to use, and we do end up picking Brahimi as our next player. In the next pool, we do get some great Premier League players, just the one player that isn't Premier League, and you know that we've got to pick the newly 5-star skiller Riyad Mahrez to go into that right mid position over Deulofeu, who will go on to the subs bench, a bit of pace to inject if we do need him later in the game. Danny Drinkwater, the next player that we pick in the draft, and we get some decent players here, and we get the centre back that we need from the Premier League. Koscielny couldn't really have asked for a better player to go into that centre back spot. Penultimate player here, great selection of players overall, and we do end up picking, I think we pick Leighton Baines overall. Probably shouldn't have ended up putting him in the starting 11. He does have some great penalties, but I feel like I would have liked to have played with Luke Shaw, looking back at the gameplay that I have already watched before, just to see how my playstyle, how I can improve. Vermeer is our final player, who's not going to be used in the subs bench overall. We put Icardi and Sportiello on the bench. We're at 100 chemistry, obviously. It's a full Premier League team. We get 182 overall. The rating is not going to go any higher than that, as you can see, as I'm just sorting the bench out for no real reason other than to make sure that the rating does not change. Everyone on 10 chemistry, as you can see. No one is out of position. We take any manager, it doesn't really make any difference. We end up taking I think we take the Spanish manager there on the right hand side from the second Spanish league. 182 is our squad rating, and we move on to the gameplay. A 3-4-3 is our first opponent Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, Amrabat, Jesus Navas, Vidal in there on no chemistry, more or less a La Liga Santander team. We start off just 5 minutes into the game. Coutinho threads a ball through to Mahrez and he is away, cuts in on his left foot, cuts back out, gets a shot off and it rebounds off the goalkeeper so that Mahrez can tap it in to make it 1-0. And just 5 minutes later, a ball into Remy, holds it up well. Schneiderlin again finding Mahrez, who opens his foot up and slots it in the bottom corner to get his second goal of the game. And at that point, my opponent kind of stopped playing as the game automatically takes the drop kick for him. And Remy slots it in there to make it 3-0. And then my opponent did come back and start playing, and just before half time Amrabat wins the ball ahead of Baines. He cuts inside and we make a poor tackle with Koscielny, and Amrabat goes down and earns his team a penalty. Ronaldo steps up to take the penalty and slots it into the left, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, and makes it 3-1 just before half time. And into the second half, Ronaldo running down this left wing, hurdles 2 challenges there, runs down to the byline, cuts back inside, and Baines trying to block the shot, takes out the opponent and gets a yellow card. Another penalty for Ronaldo to take. He puts it in the opposite corner. Valdez stayed still, and it's now a nervy finish to a game. We've still got a long way to go, but luckily a few minutes later, a nice passing here. Coquelin finds Remy. Coutinho finds Coutinho. It comes back to Coutinho, and Coutinho slots it in with a nice finesse shot around the goalkeeper to make it 4-2. But my opponent was not laying down, running up with his player there. We clear it out. No player gets to it, and the bounces are terrible. It bounces back to Ronaldo twice there after a poor touch from Baines. But we do go on to win the game 4-3, collecting 822 coins there. 14 shots and 12 on target, 56% possession. For 12 shots on target, we'd be expecting to score more goals than that. Onto the second round, Messi, Bale, James Rodriguez in the team, just to name some of the top players. We start off with a corner, and it works its way all the way to the back post in the second half, and Turan taps it in. But we weren't going to let my opponent, wasn't going to lay down, and just a few minutes later we run through with Coutinho. Remy finds a gap and slots it in at the near post on the 75th minute to level the game at 1-1. And just before the end of the game, Coutinho with a nice 1-2 gets taken out, but Remy continues and slots it in at the near post again to make it 2-1. But poor defending from me, and into the 90th minute we go. Fernandinho, for some reason I just slid on the spot. Fernandinho smashes it in off the underside of the bar to level at 2-2, and we go through to extra time. A poor pass from Messi though goes through to Mahrez, and my player gets absolutely taken out. Bartra takes out Remy there, even though Mahrez's shot goes in, and Bartra does get a red card here, as you will see. There we go, red card, and we step up with Baines, and I'm not very good at penalties at the minute, and somehow that penalty goes in, and that is the winning goal for us. 833 coins, 3-2, we win. 8 shots and 6 on target for me. My opponent slightly dominated in that game, and next up we come up against a 5-back with Moya in centre mid. Oblak in goal, not the best of teams, like no big standout like Ronaldo's or Messi's, but he does play the ball through to Arda Turan in the 20th minute, who runs through and slots it in at the near post. Valdez unable to save that one, but just a few minutes later Remy picks up the ball, some nice passing movement. Coutinho threads a pass through to Remy, and Remy finesses it at the goalkeeper, but it rebounds to him and he slots it in to make it 1-1. Schneiderlin winning the ball back here. A lovely ball from Zabaleta down this right hand side, sets Mahrez away, and Mahrez just runs to the byline, plays it back, and Remy gets a tap in basically a couple of minutes after we leveled the game up. We win the ball back here with Coquelin, plays it to Coutinho, over the top ball, finds Remy from Schneiderlin, and Remy is away with that pace, and he opens his foot up and puts it into the top corner, and that sends us away 3-1. But just before half time, a ball through to Higuain. I bring the keeper out, and Higuain slots it into the goal, past Valdez there, who just led with his feet, and towards the end of the game. Schneiderlin plays it through to Mahrez. Mahrez down to the byline, slots it across. A terrible save from All Blacks, palms it straight into the path of Schneiderlin, and we win the game 4-2. 847 coins. 7 shots on target, 4 goals, not a bad return, 46% possession. We move on to the final where we're looking to win. Ronaldo 4-3-3, false 9. Ronaldo in the team, Bobby Moore in there, in form, Felipe Luis as well. Coutinho on the ball, we pick it up with Remy, plays through Sterling, cuts across his man and bangs it into the bottom corner in the 37th minute to make it 1-0. And that is how we go in at half time. Sterling on the ball now as well, holding up well. Coutinho with the scoop turn past his defender, holds off the player and slots it in the 51st minute to make it 2-0. But just a couple of minutes later, my opponent comes back. Ronaldo on the ball here, couldn't win it off and plays it through to Ben Yedder, who slots it into the corner to make it 2-1, and a nervy finish, but we managed to hold on to win the draft. We get 808 coins. We win the draft for the first time in FIFA 17 for 6 shots on target. We end up scoring 2 goals, 53% possession, and our prize is going to be, from winning the draft, we end up receiving a rare gold pack, a premium gold players pack, and a rare players pack. So both 25k packs and a 50k pack, so 100k worth of prizes. A great prize overall. We got the rare one, rare gold 25k pack, and the players 25k pack with 3 rares. We opened that one first and we get our rare, and it is Chelsea's Kante. A great player there that will sell at the time. I'm pretty sure he sold for around 18,000 coins, which was a great boost to my coins in there. Rest of the players not really going to sell for much. A silver rare in there as well. We send everything to the club. I did sell everything later, and on to the second 25k pack, all rare pack with consumables as well. 3 or 4 players in here, and we get goalkeeper Leicester, newly transferred Robert Zieler, 81 rated goalkeeper from Leicester that did sell for about 1500 coins at the time. Porto striker there, Penaranda and Birdie are other players in that pack. 3 kits as well in there, and a squad fitness that will sell for around 1,000 coins at a later stage in the game. 50k pack is our final pack of the episode. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, as we get Pjanic, who did later sell for about 30,000 coins. So a great pack prize overall. We ended up making like 60,000 coins off of this, and probably more with these players. Welbeck sells in there, Premier League players. We ended up probably making about at least 50,000 coins worth of profit from these packs on the draft. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of The Road to Glory.